Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about Quintea, where you at? Doordash customer warns of a driver photo scam after Pizza Hut order fails. So the headline doesn't give us a whole lot, but it seems like a driver is getting a lot of heat for a particular customer not getting their order for whatever reason. Whether it's a good reason or a bad one, irrelevant. This driver is getting the heat. Now, whether it's a driver photo scam or not, we do have to go over it. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A Doordash customer warns about a driver photo scam that she says her driver used to scam her out of a Pizza Hut order. TikToker Iamjmist at Iamjmist explained her suspicion in a viral clip that's racked up over 864,000 views as of Sunday. In the video, Iamjmist begins a profanity-laden rant by saying she was a hungry MF and decided to order from the popular fast food chain using the food delivery app service DoorDash, which isn't normally a move she would make as she isn't the biggest fan of Pizza Hut. The things you do for content, huh? I'm going to leave her TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. Quick note for a second, is Pizza Hut really considered fast food? Like, I have ordered pizza before and they are not fast. I guess you could call it faster food, but I still wouldn't call it fast food. I'd call it cheap food, but I wouldn't call it fast food. So what inspired her to order some? It had the shortest delivery time because she was resolved to satisfy her hunger as soon as possible. What upped the stakes for Iamjmist was the fact that she had guests over and she didn't want to leave them with empty bellies for too long. Oh, so this didn't just affect her. She had a few guests over too. Ooh, that's a little rough. The driver is not off to a good start based on the headline and what's being said here. The TikToker pointed out that the DoorDash application allows customers to see the progress of her delivery. Her video transitions to a green screen capture of the order screen, which showed that she made a $21.77 purchase from Pizza Hut to be completed by a DoorDash driver named Quintea. Now, you know what? That's actually a pretty good rate on DoorDash, but based on the price, it doesn't seem like you tipped your driver. In fact, let me double check something. Okay, so I had to do a quick little investigation on the subject. It seems like, based on the very limited information that her video provided, the $21.77 order was a large pizza, original 14-pan pizza, with classic marinara, regular cheese, and fresh mushrooms, based on the limited information I could tell with said order. And that order was $23 on its own. Forget any of the fees or anything like that. That was $23 on its own. So she paid $21.77, which seemed like a discount already, to not receive her pizza, but it doesn't seem like she added a tip on the app. So she was perceived as a no-tip customer and got no-tip service, pretty much. I'm not saying it was right for her to have her food stolen, but she effed around and found out what happens when that happens. You can expect to get any driver that is willing to do anything to your food, including steal it. Iamjmist explained that she is extremely detailed in her approach to ordering food via DoorDash, making sure to always leave proper instructions for the driver so that they can perform their delivery in a timely fashion. As a result, she said that she expected her food to arrive quickly. Okay, a lot of instructions and a high expectation for the driver. I could tell this is a no-tip customer right off the bat. That is the perception I'm getting from this. What Iamjmist couldn't understand is that despite the fact that she made sure to leave clear handoff instructions and that Quintea's delivery progress indicated that she was on her way, the TikToker never received her food. Which is not right. If you see a no-tip order, you decline it. But if you do take take a no-tip order, you should perform it to the best of your ability. You accepted the order, you fulfill the order to the best of your ability. You don't mess with somebody else's food. That's the one thing I will say. If you didn't like the order, you should have just declined it. Like, I was in an elevator the other day on my way to deliver an order, and a couple of guys were bitching at each other because the delivery driver that they ordered Uber Eats from was complaining that they only received $5 and they didn't tip.
Ooh, well, I don't set the rate, so that's not my problem.
You're right. He shouldn't have taken your order, and you shouldn't have gotten your food at all. You shouldn't get complaining in your ear. You shouldn't get anything. Now, again, that doesn't justify theft. It's just a fact. You don't take no-tip orders, period. Despite this, Iamjmist says that she received a completely different notification along with a photo of a box of pizza resting on a floor mat in front of what looks like the front door of a residence. She was outraged.
Why the fuck would you leave my freshly baked box of pizza in the lobby for anybody to be looking at, grabbing it, and taking?
Also, she did make it clear that it was a handoff. It was a hand-to-me order, not a leave at the door, so I do understand why she would be upset about that. Now, that being said, if there was a problem with the elevator, it is another story. Either way, if they want the order handed to them, they should have the order handed to them. In spite of this blatant disregard of Iamjmist's clear delivery protocol for Quintea, she says that she opted to run down to the lobby of her building like Usain Bolt to go and retrieve the box of pizza only to see that it wasn't there. She then went on a rant against the delivery driver, questioning why she wouldn't just call to inform her that she couldn't find her apartment or that meeting her in the lobby would be a more amenable situation.
If it was too much for you to come up, I would have came down. It wasn't nothing but a thing. You couldn't call me. You couldn't let me know that you was gonna do something like that.
Okay, regardless of whether she tipped or not, at least she would have actually come down. We actually did go over a story that was a driver who showed up to a building with an elevator that was out of order at the time, and he couldn't go up, but the customer complained about him not taking stairs, and they tipped barely anything, if at all, on the app. Like I said, I made a video on that as well. Feel free to check that out. Iamjmist went on to state that the DoorDash driver cheated herself out of a gratuity along with some other goodies because she fumbled the delivery so badly.
I had a tip for you, Quintea. And I had a $100 Temu coupon plus 30% off if you had used my code.
You were serious about that?
Regardless of my opinions on Temu as a whole and how insulting that kind of tip would be, you expect anybody to believe that you would tip after service? You basically showed your hand with that comment right there. You didn't tip your driver on the app. The driver you got was pretty offended at the idea that you didn't tip him. It sounds like you're trying to say something to get a refund or to potentially get another order, or you effed around and found out. That's pretty much what I'm seeing here. I'm not saying the driver was right to take your order. I'm saying you shouldn't have gotten your order to begin with. Not through theft, but through just the inevitable shelf of shame of you not getting your order. Although I am questioning why he took an order with mushrooms, or why you actually ordered a pizza with mushrooms for company that was coming over, but that's not the point. According to the DoorDash customer, she noticed a curious detail about the picture Quintea used as proof of delivery that raised her eyebrows.
But I guess you didn't want that. Then I decided to analyze the picture a bit more. Now, do y'all see how the box of pizza is just thrown on the ledge? It's halfway hanging off. That makes me feel like Quintea just threw it on the ledge for the picture, and then after the picture, she took it. She probably took it for her kids, because her kids got to eat too. I understand. But damn, my kids got to eat too, Quintea, and you was going to do me like that?
Oh, please, everyone's always on about the children.
She probably did take the order, but at the same time, it doesn't matter why she took it. The fact is that she did.
But because you had to take my pizza, I hope it was good. So once I seen my food wasn't down in the lobby, I told her, you never dropped my food off. You picked it right back up after the picture. I had instructions on how to get to my apartment. Plus it said hand it to me in thy palm, not drop it off in the lobby. I can't believe you did me like that, Quintea. But it's all good, because DoorDash handled it. They gave me my credits back, even though it was late as all hell, and I didn't even have the energy to order anything else, so I just ate some barbecue chips. I had barbecue chips for dinner.
I feel like anytime something like that were to happen, it drains my energy as a whole. So no, I wouldn't have ordered a second time, and I would just be like, just seems like today's not the day to order on DoorDash, even though I typically opt for Uber Eats. Although I will say the way she says "in thy palm" makes it sound so pretentious too.
Plus, it said hand to me in thy palm, not drop it off in the lobby.
The video has amassed more than 894,000 views as of Sunday evening. In the comments, viewers expressed outrage over the driver's conduct. I'm pretty sure I did this already, but the things you do for content, huh? It appears that DoorDash caught wind of it as well. The company's account responded via comment that they are sorry to hear her order never made it to her, while asking her to shoot them an email, presumably to resolve the issue, which they probably did to maintain image rather than to do the right thing by the customer. Because let's be real, how many of these incidents just get swept under the rug like nobody ever heard of it until it hits hundreds of thousands of views? Why is TikTok such a tool to basically either get a bunch of refunds or to try to hold a company accountable for an action that should have been done anyway? Another commenter wrote that the alleged behavior of delivery workers like Quintea that ultimately makes life difficult for other drivers. Heap like her are the reason good drivers have issues these days, they wrote. And that's why you don't take no-tip orders, because then these things end up making us all look bad. So please, for the love of God, stop making us look bad! One person wrote that they too have had issues with the choices made by delivery drivers when it came to where they decided to drop off the food for customers. I had an actual photo where my dasher did not dash to my door at all. He left my food on the curb of the street, they wrote. It sounds to me like a DoorDash driver got a no-tip order, and that no-tip order was so much effort they decided to put the food at the curb instead of bringing it to the door, and did that out of principle. Someone else wrote that it's because of delivery driver actions like Quintea's that ultimately influence people not to pre-tip. And then DoorDashers be mad we don't tip them. I only tip DoorDashers when they do a good job and follow the instructions, wrote the user. And it's exactly that reason that this happens at all. Either tip your drivers ahead of time and make sure good drivers are taking those orders, or you're left with drivers that are gonna do these stupid things out of principle, or you just end up with your order canceled and on the shelf of shame, wondering why you're not getting a refund because DoorDash is cracking down on customers who pull refund methods such as this. Like, did you even think about that? Iamjmist isn't the first DoorDash customer to accuse or even catch a driver eating their food. In fact, 79% of delivery drivers have admitted to eating some of their customers' grub, according to Retail Brew, which highlighted a 2022 survey from Circuit. Nearly 80% of food delivery drivers reported eating their deliveries. Okay, so that survey that they're referring to surveyed over 500 delivery drivers. Not 500,000, not 500 million, not global or anything like that. 500, period. That's it. 80% of those people. That means like 160 drivers in probably one of the shadiest areas in America, period. So they pulled that little tidbit of data just to make drivers look bad. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. First off, for any and every delivery driver, it doesn't matter whether or not they tipped nothing or tipped a lot. If you choose to accept the order, you should fulfill it to the best of your ability. Now that we've addressed that, let's be realistic about what the driver should have done. Decline the order. It's called no tip, no trip. Not no tip, deliver the food begrudgingly and condone poor behavior. Not no tip, steal their food through this stupid method and be the reason drivers look bad anyway. No tip, no trip. Because why would we want to work with somebody who seems pretentious like this, who claims the tip after service even though it's completely nonsense? Like literally, they were going to tip you a Temu coupon plus 30% off of a platform that is known for stealing data and selling it. Every company does it, but Temu does it to such a degree it's almost spyware. Now again, that's just headline information, not actual deep dive, but that's not the point. The point is, you don't work with customers who choose not to tip you, because otherwise you end up on a TikTok making us all look bad. And then you'll see a bunch of people taking little headlines and tidbits from other articles claiming that this is the reason why drivers shouldn't be tipped, blah, blah, blah. And then in New York City, making it so unbearable for drivers that it's going to end up ruining their careers in New York City. But that's a different conversation for different videos. All in all, just do yourself a favor. Do not allow customers who choose not to tip even approach your platform, because otherwise this is what's going to end up happening. They're going to talk about you on videos like this, and we're going to have to be like, stop making us look bad. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.